So I spent the entire day working on the Carving Head 40 wheel for the front of the car. I had like a 4-inch lip on there before, and it had the offset way off, so every time you came in here it looked pretty goofy. So I went ahead and took the stock wheel that came with the Carving Head 40, which was 18 by 8 with a flat faced lip. So I went ahead and took the inner barrel, which is a 7-inch barrel, and I combined it with a 3-inch lip. And then I cleaned them all up, made sure the holes matched up, and then put together the entire wheel assembly using the assistance of my wonderful tire machine. So I used a fresh razor blade to scrape all the old silicone off the barrel, and then I used a wire wheel on a drill to continue spinning it and getting the rest off. A small part of this process that you guys don't see on video is where I take all 40 pieces of hardware and polish them by hand. But this part is just as tedious when you put them all in, connect them all, drill them all together, and then torque them all to 25 foot-pounds, so you can watch that part. Quite a bit less boring than the part where I polish all the pieces by hand. So after that, I took an angle grinder, put a wire wheel on it, cleaned everything one last time, and then gave myself a nice tape line with some paint tape. Putting the silicone on as little as possible is probably the best way to do this, but if you clean it up properly, it doesn't really matter. If you space your paint tape out about a 1/2 inch, that's about all you need with the silicone when you put it on. I've seen a lot of people go crazy with it, and it really doesn't help, and it makes things a lot worse, so use the right amount of silicone. Just a forewarning, I need to figure out how to pull like 1 or 2 more degrees of negative camber out of the front, so that's not the way it's going to stay, but it's pretty close. I just don't know where I'm going to get that camber from, but we will figure it out. Alright, well, it's midnight. I'm going home. It's 11:54. I'll see y'all in the morning. Today, I'm going to finish pulling apart the GS300 because, well, it's been here long enough. Nobody has hit me up for the engine that's been serious about it yet, but at this point, I'm just going to pull out the engine and get rid of the shell, just so it's one less car that's sitting over here. I'm sick of looking at it, and the expectation of getting it torn apart is starting to feel like pressure. So, let's get to it. Alright, first things first, I'm going to move the Suburban out of the way because it makes me feel cramped when I'm working on the GS300. So, this thing's doing great ever since the head gaskets and figuring out that the thermostat was bad. So, yeah, now I got a tow rig. Now I just got to put it on the road and deal with the C's caliper and do knock sensors and a knock sensor harness, because it's been in limp mode ever since I put it back together because of the knock sensor, so I haven't even really gotten to like enjoy this thing. Alright, so here I've got a list, and it's got a bunch of things that I've already looked up that are worth money on these GS's, so I'm just going to start pulling all this stuff off. I've already got a majority of it off the car, but I'm going to go through and make sure that I have all the rest of this stuff. Once all that stuff is removed, then I'll remove the engine and the stuff from the engine bay, like the ABS module. And we'll get everything of value off this car. And then Josh Starkey also bought the headlights and the coilovers, so we'll be getting those off today as well, so he can come pick them up. Alright, so I got pretty much everything out of this car that's worth anything. And then I know that these telescopes for the steering column are also worth something, but I have to see how it is that people take them out, so I make sure that I take them out with the right components, and I also don't break them as I take them out. But other than that, I just have the rear seats in here, so I'm just going to post those, and if somebody buys them, then obviously I'll get them out of the car. And then if I get rid of the car before they sell, then I'll get them out and I'll put them somewhere else. But that should be pretty much it when it comes to the interior of the car. Alright, so the Suburban's completely full of stuff again. Check this out. So this is all stuff that I have listed online, or I have pictures of to list online. And all this stuff is going to be coming over to my house once I get my shop put up. Something else that I've thought about doing is getting a storage unit right around the corner from my house, because there's like a really cheap set of storage units right around the corner from my house, and I know they're willing to do like contracts and stuff like that. So I was thinking about renting one of those shops and locking into like a year contract at like, I think they're like $150 to like $200 a month, and they're skinnier, but I could use it still, right? Especially for something like this, right? Where I take some pallet racks and I like line each wall with them, and then I can stock all my parts there. And then every day on the way home from work, you know, I can stop there grab what I need, take it home, package it, or even set up a packing station there. Just an idea that I've been pondering, because I think I am going to get rid of this shop once I build my other one. We'll see. If my YouTube just like suddenly blows up and like I can keep the shop, I might. But probably not. It's a big expense. So we'll see. But if I can use my shop at home for working on the cars, and then, you know, obviously if I want to paint one, I can go rent the paint booth that Josh has access to, or Chase has access to, or even that Donnie let me paint the JZX in. And then anything else I can do at the house. So I might get rid of this. I might not. I might get another storage unit. I might not. We'll see. Tomorrow I'm going to attack the engine bay and then the suspension stuff, and then get this thing ready to get out of here. I still got to get the diff, the drive shaft, the axles, see if the brakes are worth anything. I know there's drilled and slotted rotors on here, but I'm going to make this thing pretty much stripped down other than the stuff that's worthless. So we'll see you guys here tomorrow. All right, you're up. I could easily do this, but who would hold the camera?
Where?
Come on. You gotta crawl under your back. You pass me the drill. There you go, I'll take that. Alright, get over here.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm under a car.
Here you go.
Yep.
Alright, tap the trigger so your light turns on. Perfect. You see that 12 mil bolt right there?
Right here.
Take that off. Is it off?
I think so.
Here, I might have to hold it from the top. There you go. Alright, perfect. You can get out. Alright. Take the 12 mil off the drill. Go on and swap it to this 10 mil. Alright. And then go ahead and take out that 10 right there on the shifter. Perfect. And then go ahead and take this off. Alright, go ahead and grab it by the shifter. There we go. And then, how is this attached here? You hold that tight?
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect. That's like $120 right there.
Ka-ching.
Oh, I got my GoPro though, so I think I'm gonna put you guys on the point of view, and we're gonna do this together. Wow, I'm glad I didn't just break my arm. That just fell right on the middle of my forearm.
Oh my god.
The whole weight of that thing, wow. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, it just literally fell right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the whole weight of the diff, that was crazy. That's all right. As stupid is as stupid does. Never said I was the smartest. And as they say, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. When you get knocked down, you gotta get back up. Anyways, now the diff's out. They'll come down here.
Where's your, what's it called? Do you want to that up
What?
there? Your on.
Alright, let's get some weight on this. Go ahead. Take that last one out. See, like I was saying, the engine mounts are usually broken on these things, so I can't imagine we need to take out the engine mounts. Well, that's the trans mount, but, you know, it's made of the same material as the engine mounts, and, you know, 30-year-old car, they're gonna be broken. Something's grabbing somewhere. Oh, I know what it is. Hold on.
Hold on.
Sometimes you just gotta put the cart before the horse, you know?
Once you gotta pop on.
There we go. All right, let me grab. Well, I could probably just do it with these pliers here. Let's see. Can we get away with it?
We get away with it?
No. Yes. It's gonna pull.
Pull forward?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. going to fit in between this tiny space in the front?
Yeah, bro, and if it doesn't, we'll make it. What do you mean? Come on now. This thing's getting crushed in like 3 days.
Oh my god.
Make it work, brother.
Ain't no way I'm pulling this bitch out.
All right, we got vacuum lines of the
Eat 'em.
power steering. There we go. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
He's holding on for dear life. You got it? There you go. How you feel about that?
Now we stand on it. Kick it.
This thing's a pile of garbage. Well, this transmission is. But I will take the J2 bell housing. Probably the other half of the drive shaft. Oh, that's... Ooh. Yeah, but the engine, I need to sell that. Somebody buy it. Well, I fucked up. I moved the D21 this morning and I grabbed the key out of it, and I guess somehow I locked the key in the Mark II. So if you look in there, you probably can't see it, but right there in the center console, my key's sitting right there. So it's time to get creative. You guys know what a Slim Jim is? Well, I don't have one, but you know what I do have? A metal coat hanger. Here I've got a metal hanger, and I've kind of bent it to the shape that I think it needs to be. I just stuck it in there and I made this little last hook adjustment right here. So here, come over to this side. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stick this right in the side here. I'm gonna feed it up to the lock. Here, come around to the windshield. Probably desperation. There you go. And now I got my key. Alright, now that we've got that done and I've got my Red Bull, today I'm going to go ahead and pull the RX-7 out of my garage right here so I can get out these two VQ engines that I've had sitting in here forever. So sometimes when you're trying to get organized, it's almost necessary to get more unorganized before you can get organized, but everything that's going on here is like what has been going on before I ever got the shop that I rent now, right? So all the collection of cars and parts, it all started here. And then as I got my shop and I moved over to there, then I just started trying to organize here, but also keep as much as I could here to keep the shop as clean as possible, if that makes any sense. So now I'm finally at the point where I need to start finding ways to utilize my space the best way possible, which is why I'm taking the VQs out of the back of here today. So down here, I've got a VQ DE and a VQ DE rev up, both under here that I don't really need. Now, if I end up tearing them apart and the block is good on either of them, I'll keep that good block for a VQ build that I'm going to be doing for this 240SX right here. Now, if you guys have been around for as long as I've been making content, you know that this is like the first car right here. I built this as a memorial to my late friend Joshua, and I call this car Pistol Pete. And I built this, well, I started building it when he was alive, and then during the process of me learning how to build the car, he unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace, Josh. But this car means a lot to me because I wanted to do it in a way that would, you know, it would make him happy. So this car I call Pistol Pete. That's a reference to Josh. And when I originally built it, I learned how to paint, do body work, build an engine, swap a car, do all those things. It was, you know, my first ever attempt to do anything. And obviously now that I'm more experienced, there's a lot of things that I want to go back and redo. So I'm going to be evolving this car to the next stage of its life, you know, V2. And that starts by building a VQ engine for it, because the one that I originally built, well, I unfortunately put a used oil pump in it, and that used oil pump came out of an engine that rod knocked. So basically from the first time I ever started that engine until I took it out, it was basically killing itself. So that's unfortunate, but I've never told you guys that before, so now that you know, that's why this thing never comes out of here and why I haven't finished it. But it's still a huge priority to me, and it's something I really want to jump back into sooner rather than later. With all that being said, I've got this 2JZ GE non-VVTi block right here that's been sitting in the back of my truck for probably like 4 months now, and I need to take this, and I'm going to be putting it in here on the shelf with the rest of my engines. So I'm gonna put it right here in this spot in the corner, next to the RB25, that's next to the 7M GTE, that's next to the 2J, that's next to the RB25, that's next to the other RB25, that's below the CA, that's next to the SR, that's next to the KA, that's next to the KA, that's next to the NA rotary, that's next to the Turbo 2 rotary. And then I got a bunch of manifolds and turbos up there. It's a hoarder's paradise here. Either way, I need to get that JZ in here and then get those VQs in there so I can take the VQs to the shop and tear them down. And go ahead and lift this up. Got the 2J put in here right on the bottom of this shelf. And then I took the VQ from underneath the bench in the back and I got it in the D21 with the engine hoist. And then I went ahead and pushed the RX-7 back in. Man, I cannot wait to start working on this car. Or this car. But now that I have this loaded up, I'm gonna head up to the shop where Clay and Chase are playing with RC cars right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go play with some RC cars. Alright, I got my RC car. Get to see Peck's fresh painted car now. Well, Peck's car's all prepped and ready for paint, so... Oh, that's fire. Oh, that's sick. Looks like it's got a big old booty on the hood. Alright, we've got the RC Master Surgeon taking a look. What's the diagnosis?
It's junk.
Is it?
Yeah, it's junk.
Is it?
Not really.
Oh, okay. That's alright.
It needs a few things.
I'd believe you if that's it's junk.
It needs a few things.
He's just trying to be nice. It's junk.
We need to throw this in the trash.
Yeah, I need a new controller.
We need to throw this in the trash.
What, the gyro?
And we need to throw the servo in the trash.
The servo, the gyro?
All of it.
All of
Get
it.
rid of all of it.
Scrap the whole assembly, huh?
Scrap the whole build, and then let me show you how a proper build for it. Come down here. We have Yokomo SPO2D servo, V4 gyro to go with it, hobby wing, pair.
That's the bee's knees right there, huh?
Bee's knees. What else do you need? It's an MST. It doesn't need shit.
Okay.
Just build it and go. That's it.
I thought that's what this was.
Get you a really nice remote too.
That sounds so smooth. I'm doing my best here. Come on, get cranking. You just gotta watch this, but it should be low enough that it'll lift that up and we'll be able to pull it out. That's how I set the chains for it back at the house. I'm just struggling, so I guess if you want to get me on camera struggling, that's fine. Just record me instead of helping. I guess whatever sells the content, right?
Recording your rumpy.
I'm really working against myself here.
Okay, I let me help
This is how I usually do it anyways. Usually I just do it without somebody recording me, but this is very normal. I do what I can, you know?
For sure. Oh, I want to get this angle.
Yeah, I've got a whole method, right? So you gotta get under it, and you gotta steer it like this, right? And now I got this back up against the wall, so when I push this, it should pivot. What are we stuck on? A bunch of random, oh look, it's body filler from previous Zach. There we go. Past mistakes coming back to haunt me. Alright, and then we go ahead and lift up one leg. you know?
Oh yeah.
Swing the back legs around because you can get those up, right?
Now we're getting close to the JZX. Here.
Don't worry, I got the whole journey to the floor. There you go. Show's over, folks.
Angina.